So now we fast forwarded a few months. John and Sarah have been working on their budget. They've been sticking to it. They've been continuing to save, and they've been doing that throughout the first few months of the year. So I wanted to take you folks to the point where now you have reached that goal where you've been able to reach your saving goal, and now you're ready to head into step 7, which is crush your debt, which it is now the end of May, and John and Sarah are ready to go and make that transition. So I want to show you what that looked like. Now, some of these things you might remember from the last videos, but I will go over them again real quick. So we are at the end of May. So at the end of May, John and Sarah have put in all of their income as well as all of the things that they have spent money on for the entire month. You will see that they netted this month not quite as much as they did in the previous example, but that's because in May, if you remember the income, in May, John is expected to receive 4 paychecks, Sarah 2, and they were hoping to get $500 from their side business. So this is one of their quote lower months in terms of the amount of income they projected they would bring in. So that's all reflected right here with, you'll see John's 4 paychecks, Sarah's 2, and their side business did a little bit better than the last example. So that's why it's still good that they netted, but it's not quite as much as the last time. So it's the end of the month. You would do the same thing as you have done at the end of every other month. So you would go to your balances. You see this is May underscore balance. Again, I recommend having a new tab for each month, or you could simply just redo the reconcile tab every single month if you wanted to. But again, it's better to track it month by month. So by now, at the beginning of the month, John and Sarah have been saving up money. They're about $4,500. They still haven't quite gotten to the point where they were able to reach their 1 month goal of 4705, but I have a feeling that this month they're definitely in a position to do so. So they would simply check their bank accounts as you would every month, and this is now May 31st. So at the very end of the month, you type in what you have in your bank account, and they have $5,467.74. This has continued to accrue very minuscule interest, so it's gone up 66 cents just in the month alone, which is probably giving it too much credit. But again, now John and Sarah, to cross-reference, they have the 883.87. You look at your receipts tab, 883.87, so they know that they did the month right. And this $5,400 is more than their goal. So in the month of May, they successfully completed step 6 and they reached their savings goal. And they're now ready to move on to crushing their debt, which actually they could start doing right here, right now at the end of May without jeopardizing the fact that they just got finished with step 6. So this is where the reconciliation comes into play. Now, I remember having you guys write down your goals, and the goals was to start saving, crush your debt, and start investing. So it might be smart now to potentially change this to build savings. Now we're ready to start crushing our debt, and start investing might be the right word, but you can change those month by month as well. Now I want everyone to remember the 80-10-10 rule. That was something that my wife and I did, where 80% of what we netted each month actually went towards crushing our debt. And then we did 10% towards our savings and 10% towards investing to get that kicked off, and it continued to grow very quickly. So what I would want you to type in, using this as an example, now you can do 50-50, you can do 100% all in, it is totally up to you. But using the 80-10-10 rule, this will remind you what percentages that you're going to be putting in above. And I want to remind you, when I say net, the net is what you have above your savings goal. So to figure that out, this would give you the number as to what you want to reconcile. Now you can use a calculator, but it might be easier if you go equals, how much do I have in my account right now, minus what our goal was. So at the end of May, you still have $762.74 to work with. So you would type in 762.74 right here. That is the amount of money that you would use as an overpayment, either towards one of your loans in full, or if you did what we did, we would go 80% of that would go here. So now it's time for us to build the rest of this piece out. So if you want to start building your savings, we did 10% of the net at the end of every month. So I'd write 10% here. We did 80% of what we netted towards debt, and 10% again into investments. Now you might look at this and say, okay, are these numbers correct? They don't look correct to me. So again, these three numbers need to add up to 1, or what is 100%. We touched on this equation a little bit before, but this is very, very simple. That is why I have you type in your percentages right here. What this is saying is that D11, so that is your reconciliation number, this is going to equal D11 times whatever percentage that you decided to put in. So because your build savings is at 10%, you would multiply that by 0.1. Okay. The next box, it's 80%, so it's 0.8. And the next box would be 0.1, which it already was. If you need a cross-reference, you can add up these three totals. It should come to about 762.74, which it does. Okay, so now this is where we start to have a little bit of fun with it, and this is where we will start to reconcile. But for the sake of right now, I will leave that for another video. This is just building that out, and I'll start showing you how to move money around. But we will continue through the end of this month what you would fill out. So we have our receipts all filled out for the end of May. We have our balances updated for the end of May as well. You have figured out how much money you're going to be moving around. You will put in your income. Remember, we do that every single month. John and Sarah have been doing it through these months here, all the way through April. Now that we are in May, Sarah got paid twice for $3,150. And you see John received 4 paychecks, equaling $1,700. And when you go back to the receipts, it looks like the side business brought in $650. And that brings your total right there. Now at the end of each month, one piece, I did type in what you would put in, but I want to show you how to do this now. So you have the total income for the month of May for John and Sarah. Now this box left over, you want to add up what they made in actual income for the month, and you will do this at the end of each month. These are these bold boxes here under total. There are 2 ways that you can do this. The easier way is to highlight the cell before it, which is F16. In the little corner there, you'll see there's a square. When it gets to the plus sign, if you click and pull that box over one, it will automatically total it for you. That is one way that you can do it. If you want to do it with the equation, then simply you take, if you look at the equation here, it is the sum of F13 through F15, which was for this box here. We are now in column G, so you would simply go equals the sum. This will teach you some basic Microsoft tools as well. Click on all three of these boxes, close the parentheses, and hit enter. So you'll see either way we'll do that, but to make things easy, they netted $400 more than they thought they would for the month. So we can make that green. We love making things green. And the only other box that you would change is this one here in yellow. So we are now through May, which is column G. Anytime you want to update your expected income to date, all you need to do is click between the letter F and 12 and change it to the new column. You'll see G, it has highlighted everything up through May. Hit enter, and now you have what your expected month to make to date is updated right here. So those are the only two things other than typing in what you made for income that you do at the end of each month as you continue through month to month. If you're not sure if this number is correct, your expected amount of money to date, your expected amount of money through May, you highlight all the cells. You'll see down here it says 27,400. If that says 27,400, then you know that's good. So they have actually made John and Sarah's $1,600 more through the first 5 months than they projected to, which is great. Remember the buffers. Budget, same thing. They filled everything out month to month. You would do the same thing for May. You go to your May receipts, you type these numbers in, and for your groceries and dining, you type these numbers in here at the bottom. I will not do that for the sake of time, but you do that again through May. That figures those out from there. And the debt at the end of each month, you'll see these have been updated after April. You just simply type in how much you owe for each one of your loans up to that point. And this was updated at the beginning of May because we're about to close out May in the next video.